Okay, good morning. Are we up and running, I think? How do we tell? Seems okay. Good morning, good morning. It's a nice day outside. What you're seeing is white in the sky there. It's actually blue. It's a blue sky. It's washed out the camera. But it'll be another nice day. Clear and cold. Clear and cold. And today is it's our last day of carving on this design. I do believe we're on the last face today. The last face. We've got the block. So we finished face number, I don't even know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 4 color blocks both sides. This was the base color tone for the animals and some blocks in reserve for the bottom area. Obviously this looks a bit strange. When we're printing this color, this would be in the way, so this will have to be cleared away. But I'm keeping some areas in reserve during the test printing. So during the test printing, this will be bothersome, but it doesn't matter, just for tests. And then after the test printing is finished, we may need, for example, another block for this print. So that's why these are being held at the moment in reserve. They'll be either carved away, out of the way, or they will be used with printing areas put on them. And I have one left, which we'll paste down and start carving in a few minutes. The knife, the knife next to the mask emoji. Sorry, I can't find an emoji for a real chokokto. Okay, yeah, we should maybe stop that. All right. There's another little quirk with this block. Look where I put the registration marks. The wood grain on this block was really not good. This wood grain, this side, it's pretty much classic. It's straight plank grain. We'll paste there down and carve. This one had straight grain, the way the wood was planed. And a lot of it is what's called nashi moji. I don't know what the word means. Nashi has the meaning of pear, as in fruit, or nothing, nashi. And this particular kind of grain pattern, I don't have any word for it in English. I don't know what this is called. It's what you get when you have a radial cut plank, I think. And in Japanese it's called nashi moji. And this picks up on color. If you were printing a flat color block of this model pattern will tend to pick up on the color. So we don't want to use it. And this block had, oops, where's the camera switch? This block had this pattern up to about this far. So I moved the image up so that the area where we have the skin tone for these animals is in an area of clean grain and it won't pick up. Being a bit careful, but we have some extra width here, so let's use it. So what I'll do now on the back side is I'll start from this corner so that we can actually cut this away and not use it later. Okay, let's paste and carve. Get my stuff out of the way. This is funny. The show and tell is for later, of course. We're going to put it. It's a delicate book. Today's book is a mess. I went last night to Fitness on the mind. I went to Freshness Burger last night. They make really, really nice hamburgers here, you know. It's not the production line of a McDonald's, and it's not one of those fancy cafe burgers where you can't get it in your mouth. It's really pleasant, and they've started a new kind of burger. I didn't buy this, but it's called a dunk burger. And it comes in 2 flavors, and each flavor has its own dunking material and its own dunking material. What can I say? Type 1, it's called Dunk Burger. It's the Italian nama ham. So it's got some kind of, it's ham and lettuce. And it's got an olive oil based liquid to dunk in. And then here you have some shredded cheese. So you take your raw ham, nama ham is raw ham, dip it in the olive oil, dip it in the cheese, and away you go. And it says how to eat. You can see the instructions. Dunk, dip, bite. The second version it's Dunk Burger number 2. It's American cream cheese. And I guess we have an actual beef patty. It doesn't say anything about that, but there must be a beef patty. And the dunking material is maple iri syrup. So syrup with maple juice in it, or maple flavor. You dunk it in there, and then you dip it into the Roast almonds, neat dunk. And they've got some chopped almonds. What do you think? Will it catch on? I don't know. No idea. It started last week for a limited time only. The Dunk Burger. Hey, I'm not making this up. It's right there. It's so different. Dunk Burger, I know. Authorized by the NBA. Okay, the last of these blocks is, it's going to be, this is the overprinting color. The back side, these animals have a two-tone color. And if I bring up the original for a minute here, you can see on the top, the animals have a two-tone color. The cat is sort of a woody color, light pale orange woody color. And the fox is a kitsune fox color. But the fox also has the cat color underneath. And the idea is this, the cat color is the base under both animals, which is the block you see I carved yesterday. It's the base under both animals. And then the one we're going to carve today is just the fox color. Or it will be a color that will make the fox color when printed on top of the yellow. And also as a catch-all, it will catch the umbrella, which may or may not end up being the same color as the one you see in the Photoshop match, the Photoshop sample. Let's do this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Well, operations manual for eating stuff. I think that's because it's a new concept there. I don't know. Are you guys betting on my sweatshirt? Please no. Sweatshirts are random. They come off the laundry basket. They're random. Shirts are random. There's 3 shirts and 4 sweatshirts in circulation. Socks and shorts we don't talk about. Although I guess we could make a thing about this, you know, if we wanted to make a deal here. If you guys are going to be running big time betting on my sweatshirt, I am available for a discussion on this. And all, you know, I don't need too much to arrange things. If somebody wants to convince me what to wear one day, if you have a lot of money running on something. Farewell, I'm cutting the registration marks, please. There's a really hard piece of wood in this corner. It's really hard, not like rock hard. I forgot to warn about the noise. Sorry about that. Soka. Sorry about that. I should have warned everybody about the noise. I'm sorry. I used to do that. Flyfish talking about doing the registration mark and splitting the block. Been there, guy. Done that. That's one reason actually these days why I put these registration marks a little bit farther into the wood. It's about 9 millimeters, you know. I used to put them closer to the edge and split some out. It might help to put a light on, Dave. this for this. Okay, this will be our last peel of the year, I guess. The next project will be starting in early January. I won't be doing any new projects now from now to the end of the year, so this will be our last carving face and our last peel of the year. A new Kento guide. This is the same Kento guide I've had since I was like born or something. I don't know. I don't think I've replaced this. I have two to show. I have two of different widths. Nothing spectacular about them. They come from a Frisk box. It's the same one I think I've been using for... Every now and again I do lose them. It seems to disappear somewhere, so I get another one. Any purchase coming in today? There are two coming in today, Suga-san and A-chan. Suga-san came in just a minute ago. I saw her come in the door there. Maybe that was just before the stream went live. Suga-san came in the door. She's upstairs. She's printing the 15th print in the Bino Nazo series, the Mystique of the Japanese print. The super delicately carved hairlines. She's terrified about it. Absolutely terrified. Justifiably so, actually. Then A-chan is doing a couple of projects. She's doing test printing on the little print. Taran-san carved some blocks for us last month. And she's doing test printing on that this morning. And she's also doing some test printing. She did last night. She dropped it on my desk last night. She's doing some test printing on the 8 Views of Cats Evening Bell. This is about the 99th version we're trying. I did indeed wet the block. Of course I wet the block. Where's the gumpy start? I always think I'm going to tease up one corner before I glue it down, then I forget. There's a hole in it. Why? What's that all about? I don't remember. Okay, are we on screen? Oh, look at this. It's come like 99% of it has come up. Let's try it. Let's just go for it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Let's go for it. Oh, no way! Look at that. What a split. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good way to finish the year. Nay. Come on, it doesn't get any better than that. Very nice, very nice. So we have, as I said, we have the over color to make the fox. And then the umbrella is here. And then we're going to use a couple. There's some random berries on these plants down here. On the originals, they're sort of, let's pop up the ears, and you probably can't see them. Down at the bottom right, on the bottom row, print 4 and 5, you probably can't see them. There's some little like reddish berries just above the ducks there, number 5, and sprinkled around the leaves on number 4. So they're little berries. And we're going to take artistic license here and just perhaps make them the same color as the fox over color, or they're far enough apart here on this block. Oops, wrong way. The berry areas are far enough apart that the printer could easily use a different brush for these two. Then I was thinking about the sun on this one, but no, I decided it was too close, so I cut it on another block. So these 3 faces, 1, 2, 3, these 3 areas will also be in reserve. I won't chop them off just yet. I'll keep them in reserve for after test printing. Okay, let's get sorted. There was a hole in that Gumpy though. I'm a bit curious why. There was a hole in it. All the way through. I didn't notice. Asakusa, the hunched paper from Matsumura comes with Gumpy, extends over the edge. Soka, soka. Is the camera mirrored? No, I know the camera is, I know, how can I write this? If I just write something, D, my name is DB, I'm writing this correctly. So you're seeing, I believe, a normal left to right image. And this camera, I'm left-handed, I'm holding up my left hand. So you're seeing me as I guess you would, I get confused about this. Yeah, you're seeing me as if you were standing there looking at me. So there's no mirroring going on here. The things are all, you're seeing real orientation. In reserve, what I mean when I said in reserve is we have got a color plan for this completely worked out. When you see the original, I think I have enough blocks worked out to do the sky, to do the sea, to do the green, to do the brown, to do everything. But until I do a test printing, I really don't know how it's all going to work. And it could be that after doing the test printing, I might say, look at the ducks there at the bottom right or something, or look at the carp climbing the waterfall. And it could be that I need more depth in the top or something like this, that we haven't got a color variation worked out. So I need another block. And rather than go to the shelf and grab another new piece of wood, I'm keeping this in reserve in case I need to carve another area. Almost certainly no, but been there, done that. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Oop. Masks everywhere. Oh, I've got to get my. The flask is pulled back. You perhaps haven't seen this before. Let's have a look at this. There's the bulb, and normally the flask sits in front of it for putting the light directly across the area. At the moment it's not. The flask, I've pulled it back. I got a piece of string and I tied it back to my scope stand here, pulling it out of the way. And that was because last night I was doing clearing. I was using my big chisel here in clearing, and I needed a good wide, the whole block had to be lit up, just not the one area in the middle. So I pulled the flask out of the way. I do this all the time. If I undo the piece of string now up here, undo the string, and the flask comes back down inside. And we get a focus light. And of course it never comes back to the same place that it used to come back to, but whatever. It's being pulled by the microphone. And yeah, there's a pencil. Actually, I don't want to talk about it. There are 2 pencils up there. There are 2 pencils up there. I think it's safe. I need a setup there with the little motorized XY, so I can sit here with the button and pull it to exactly where I want it. But maybe one day, maybe. Okay, let's find our spot. Yeah, it's creeping. The microphone is pulling it. I don't know, the video box with the microphone plug is pulling it. I got to get this all sorted out, but whatever, here we are. Okay. Someone's asking about booster shots. I think I'm due for mine in February, I think. I had my first and second in, was it June or July last year? I think they're scheduling boosters here for, I think it's 8 months after the original. I don't know. As usual, there's lots and lots of discussion. I don't remember, I don't follow it that much. So just sit and wait for the instructions. I don't know. Here, all the vaccination stuff here is just simply handled by the central government in combination with City Hall. So whenever the decisions are made and the stuff's distributed, I get the notice from City Hall now saying, come here, come there. It was chaos in the early days. You saw me trying to get a reservation, stuff like that. Those days are gone. It's all now completely, totally, absolutely organized. Got enough light? Are we okay? I think we're okay to show. So I was waiting for the 2020-21 update video. I know the plan is this. I carved today, finish this block tonight. I've got sizing to do tonight, sizing to do tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, nothing to do with stream. I do the first test printing of this thing on Friday afternoon. If the test printing is okay and I don't need more carving, then I get some paper ready, and on Saturday and Sunday I do a real run of about 20 prints, 20 sheets or so. No time to do 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. I'll do a run of 20 sheets. I'll start that on Saturday morning, and it might be happening on stream. And I will video that, of course. I will make an actual YouTube video how this thing is going to work. If that goes okay, this is a if on top of if on top of if, then video production for the year-end video will start Monday morning. So the year-end video should be out around a week from now. That's the plan. And then I have to assign printers to get the first batch of these things ready. This is theoretically supposed to be shipped January 1st. And we never ship the first print on January 1st because it's, of course, New Year. The post office is closed, the employees don't work, all that kind of stuff. So we'll ship the first print by about January 10th. And I don't know how much we've talked about this. We have a very, very different system coming up this year. One of the reasons I chose small match label prints this year was specifically because of all the shipping trouble that we've had. The post office is still not even accepting, for example, small packets for a place like the US. But the postal systems still are, and we've tested this with our Patreon prints, they still are doing letters. It's only packages that are getting caught and trouble and customs and everything else. They are still doing letters. So this next year's series is going to be shipped to collectors in envelopes. We're going to cut the prints apart, put them in a little package with an explanation folder, and put a stamp on the outside and a little address, and no special post office treatment at all, no customs treatment. They're going to arrive as letters. And because of that, instead of like $14 a month for the postage for a subscription like we have this year for people that want tracking, $14 a month on a $50 print. Next year the postage is going to be, it's probably going to be 190 yen. Might even be only 110 yen. So the monthly postage for next year's subscriptions is going to be like $2. There's no case for it. We're not making a case. These prints store inside a postage stamp album. They're available anywhere across the planet. Get your own from Amazon or your local stamp collector dealer. So we don't have to ship cases with these. So it's going to be, we've really tried to simplify in an era of all these shipping problems. This was a major motivation in me choosing to make small prints this year. So next few days now, me from here now today on for the next week, I am one little busy guy, and it's going to be kind of non-stop. Get this thing out the door. Well, thank you for the comments here. The message from the 20-year-old boy man. What's a boy man? I've never seen one of those before. Not being sarcastic. Thank you for the nice comments. Thank you very much. Thank you. Is that cafe across the road with a red awning? What's the question here? The cafe. There is a cafe across the street with a red awning. It looks more distant now because this is a wider angle camera we have here. The camera that's outside these days, the camera that's outside these days is the camera that used to be on the desktop here. And it's got quite a wider angle. It's more useful for outside. It would be fun if we had a viewer-controlled zoom or a pan on the outside camera, though. The viewers could pan it around and zoom it around, you know. If I really had time to fool around with all this stuff and play with these things, we could set up some fun here, you know. It's certainly doable, you know. We may get disturbed outside. I'm not quite sure what time they start. It's getting close to the end of the year, so Watanabe-san and a couple of the other staff members, the printers upstairs, they were really starting to get cleaning up going. It's a real tradition in Japan. Anybody, homes and workshops, whatever, have to get a major cleaning. In the West, it seems to be spring cleaning is a thing, or was a thing, I don't know. But here in Japan, it's year-end getting ready for the new year, traditionally. It's way less than it used to be, but still, a workshop like this, the girls all get really antsy, and they start cleaning up and getting stuff mixed up. So we have, Watanabe-san went through all of our paper stuff and files, and she is stacked up outside. There's about 200 kilograms of it. There's 5, 6, 7 big boxes full of all old print wrappers, or when we get Yahoo auction prints and we've removed them from their old moldy wrapping and stuff like that, it just gets thrown in the closet, and then once a year, bang, out it goes. So she has a ton of stuff that can't go in normal garbage. We phone the city office, the disposal people, and we arrange for a Sodai Gomi pickup. And she made the reservation a while ago. and they may be here this morning to pick this stuff up, so it's possible I'll get interrupted here. All the boxes and stacks, we've got it all stacked up and ready. They bring a truck with a weigh scale and they weigh it, and I will have to pay per kilogram to have this stuff taken away. And if they come, it'll mean an interruption. I've got to get out there and deal with them, so we'll see what happens. And they are stressed like crazy at this time of year because most everybody just waits till the last minute to book this stuff, you know. We thought we were being reasonable by doing this at this time, and what Nabe-san said when the girl phoned, she says, well, I don't know if we can fit you in, you know. So we thought we were on time, but not. We are actually late on this, so. And today being Thursday morning, there's the usual can bottle pickup happening down there, Tisha. We may hear at the end of the stream the cans and bottles. I don't have any cans and stuff recently. Not for the past month. I haven't touched a can, I don't think, myself, you know. Try and keep in touch here. You're having a good boy man discussion, are you? Okay, thank you. The Guinness deal is still going on. I can't believe this. I was in there the other day. We were picked up some more glue, and the stack of Guinness is still there. This is stuff left over from the Rugby World Cup, which was, what year was that? 2019, 2018? I don't even remember. They must have prepared so many of those Guinness glasses. Millions. They're still on sale over there at Donkey now. And this is easily 2 years later. I haven't been buying any. How far from my entrance is it to the nearest vending machine? You mean in seconds? 8 seconds? 9 seconds? Something like that? We can't see it. See the two cones? In the view there, you see the two cones across the street. There's an electrical box there. The other side of that electrical box is of two vending machines. So that's the closest one. You tell me, if I'm in a hurry, 3 seconds? I don't know. How cold is it here? I don't know. It's not so cold this morning. It's kind of nice. Actually, maybe 8, 10 degrees. I don't know. What do they vend? It's the usual stuff. It's the usual stuff. There's water and tea. I think the biggest selection is green teas and barley tea and hoji cha. Teas will be the biggest selection, and then canned coffee will be the next. And there will be 2 rows. And actually, they're going to change. There's 2 rows, blue and red. And it's now winter, so they must have probably changed. There will be only a few blue items, cold, and most of the items will be red, warm. And they change the machines. They flip switches and change stuff over as the year goes on. Yeah. What I buy from that machine is sparkling water. There's a Wilkinson has got 2 slots in that nearest machine, and they sell sparkling water, and I'll get that at lunchtime sometimes. the coffee shop across the street, I don't actually, well, I don't eat in there anymore as a restaurant because I don't go to restaurants these days, but they do actually a pleasant morning thing, but they do what's called a morning. Japanese coffee shops do this. It's a mug of coffee, sometimes bottomless, and some giant slab of toast, maybe a boiled egg or something like this. You know, it's called morning. It's traditional in a Japanese coffee shop. But I don't do that across there because their coffee is so strong. I just cannot drink it. I guess they're proud of it, you know. So strong, so tasty. But I can't do it. If I take a few gulps of that, minutes later, I start to get pain in my stomach. It's just, I don't know what they're putting in there, battery acid or something. I don't know. I just can't do it. When it comes to coffee, I'm a meek, mild-mannered wuss. No doubt about it, you know. Absolutely, I'm a wuss. There was an American-Italian friend visiting. I think we talked about it, Marco. He visited years ago. He came from Italy, and he stayed at my Ome place for a couple of weeks to practice printing. And he brought his own coffee machine, his own, you know, the press thing that you press and squeeze and all that kind of stuff. Espresso, I guess. And the first night he's here, you know, he makes one for me too, you know, and I drank it because to be friendly, but my God, writhing in pain for hours. So Dave's a coffee wuss, absolutely. Guilty as charged. So for me, the convenience store machine, you know, they've got what they call a cafe latte, and it's just, for a real coffee connoisseur, it's just laughable, I'm sure. But it suits just fine. It's hot, warm, a little bit milky, not too sweet, tastes sort of like coffee. I don't know if anybody noticed, I said there's two colors here. There's an undercolor, which is on the cat and the fox, and then there's an overcolor, which is just on the fox. And they don't line up, and they're not intended to line up. What Jed did was, he gave me, so the undercolor, for example on the fox, the undercolor actually comes out a bit more. So if this all works as planned, we'll see the cat will have its tone and some white areas. Then the fox will have the cat tone visible, just a smidgen, and then this one is a little thinner. Can we compare? Let me find it. Here we are. Okay, we should be able to flip there. Here's the one that'll be the undertone, and it's hard to tell. It's on the cat here, and it's on the fox around the eyes, closer than this block. This is now cut back a bit. The eye area is larger. So hopefully we'll get a two-tone with this little stripe of cat color around the eyes, if it works. The scale we're doing here, we shouldn't be playing games like that. It's going to be enough problem just to get the things in the lines. But Jed works on Photoshop at like wall size or something. I don't know, and shrinks it down. Have I ever tried to look at old prints by candlelight? Yes and no. I know I got in real trouble actually. When was it? Not 1999. I forget which exhibition. Yeah, the first exhibition after the Poets finished in 1999. We had the 100 display. Then I made the first year of the Surimono album prints, and I had been asked by NHK. Asked by Peter Barakan. I think we were on the Japanophiles program. NHK and Peter Barakan got me on the program there, and they came to my house and we talked about how to look at prints. And as it turned out, this is happening in the winter. It's the year end. I'm getting ready for the exhibition. And it was a snowy day, and I really poured it on. Here we are. Look at this. Let's open the shoji. Let's put the print next to the shoji screen. Open the shoji. Snow light, and they're all ooh and ah and ooh and ah. And we had our shoji screen, like the one behind me, with the snow falling behind it, and we had the print in front with all the room lights turned off. And the print looked incredible. And the NHK guy says, we've got to replicate this. So they built inside the NHK place. When I went down with Peter to do this program, they built a little miniature room. They used one of the rooms. They didn't build it all for me. It was one of the rooms for their drama programs. And they set it up so that we had this light, and Peter and I saw this and oohed and awed and oohed and awed. So Dave has this experience, comes back. I know what I'm going to do for my next exhibition, the first exhibition of the Surimono albums. It won't be candlelight, but I will build these angled stands. The prints will go nearly horizontal on the angled stands. We will have shoji there, and we will have behind the shoji delicate light, flickering light, candlelight. And we built this thing. We actually built it inside the Gallery Takano. It was about 10 meters long, about 10 meters long, because it was the 10 prints. Each one had its own space. It was an unmitigated disaster. They looked great. We put the room lights out. We had the whole room divided in half. The poet's prints were in a bright side, and we had all the room lights off. People came in, and it's all dark, and like it looks like the haunted house at Disneyland or something. People coming in, they can see this glow in the background. And we're like, yeah, come in, please look at the prints. And there's sort of a panel with an explanation that says, please enjoy the prints in the same kind of light that they did in the old days. It was a disaster, absolute disaster. Everybody, not everybody, everybody complained. It's too dark, it's too dim, I can't see anything. And then everybody, not really everybody, but you know what I mean, everybody complained, I'm bending over to look at these things. They get halfway down the row and their shoulder hurts and their back hurts and they give up and they can't see the prints. It was like, I think it was a 10-day exhibition, and partway through we were thinking, look, let's cut and run. Let's spend one night and rebuild it all and go back to normal. I didn't, but it was, they were too dark, too gloomy, too difficult to see, and nobody got what was going on. So I don't know, when you're now talking about, Dave, do we exhibit prints by candlelight? Dave's thinking, I don't think I want to go there, you know. But I think the candlelight idea, what's that phrase that's there? Am I being sexist or something? I don't think so. There's a phrase out there, you know, I don't know, by candlelight, all women are beautiful, you know, and it's the thing, at night, all cats are gray, you know. By candlelight, everything looks soft and delicate and beautiful. You don't see the defects, you know. So, whatever, enjoy at your own pleasure, leisure. But for an exhibition, it did. At least the way I arranged it, it just didn't work at all. You know. There were media people. They'd come in, they'd set up their cameras, and then just like in frustration, they'd just turn and leave because they couldn't get good shots of the stuff, you know. There's photographs of all that stuff on my woodblock.com website somewhere. Not sure how to find it. If you go to the woodblock.com website, dig around somewhere to find the front page, and then look around till you find past exhibitions. And the one I'm talking about would be the exhibition for, it would be 1999 or it would be 2000. And there's actually video. There's little tiny like 480, 240 video on the website there showing this. So you can see the thing I'm talking about here. And it sort of looked like a good idea at the time. But. Having said all that, you know, we are planning, of course, when our Asakusa facility does eventually open up again. We've talked about this before on the stream here. One really strong idea coming forward for our Asakusa facility, and I'm saying that word instead of saying shop, is that one strong idea coming up is that we won't actually have a store, a shop, when we open up again. And one idea is that we would have a gallery slash museum slash something a place to display prints where people can come and see them and look at them and chat with our staff and talk about them and enjoy them. A little miniature museum, like the Ota Museum, but on a much, much smaller scale. This one room here. And at the back, the old print party room, that would be a little tiny shop where people could buy stuff if they want. But the main business would be pay your like $5 for a ticket for 2 people, come in, and it's a museum, a gallery. And the idea is to try and figure out how to do it properly, the thing that I just say that I failed with. Have basically a gloomy environment, but the prints lit up so that they look drop dead beautiful, but without the problems that I encountered when I did it before. Overall dark gloominess, difficult to see, back pain. Take that old experience and cut through the problems and make a really nice, pleasant display space. It's still open for suggestion. And if I hadn't had that previous gallery experience, then I would have made this mistake with our new facility here. I would have designed the whole thing like that, and it would have been an ongoing disaster. Exit to the gift shop. We can't. The gift shop's at the back. There's no door at the back, so there is no door back there. So. We're thinking about lots of things. Someone's got a flexible arm to change the experience. So some of the prints we will need a magnifier on the top, and then I think we were thinking like a little lever, the light angle changes. One thing we do want to show people is the 3-dimensional aspect. So there is one idea to do one setup like that. There's a print that you look at, and as you pull the lever, like the light goes up and down, and you can see how the print changes as the light angle changes on it, that sort of stuff. So there's lots and lots of ideas in play here. Yeah, but John's mentioned we tried to do this on the old shop. We had an angled stand with an angled light, and it sort of worked, and it sort of didn't work, but it sort of worked actually. So, and then down here on the first floor, we did the same thing. The browser bins are here. Behind the browser bins, there is an angled stand, and above them on the roof, there are LED lights that are calculated to shoot down at what we thought was a pretty good angle for looking at the prints, and that's pretty much worked. The problem was the whole room had to be generally bright, so you've got ambient light too also shining on the print, which spoils the effect. When we take the photographs for our collection online, we kill the ambient lights. We just leave the angled light shining down, and that's why those prints have such a strong, vivid, angled view. So yeah, we're going to try and think of what to do here. I suppose I should be really planning it in advance so that we're ready when the airport opens up. We can jump up and do this, but it doesn't look like the airport's opening up anytime soon, so we keep just postponing this. Yeah, get to it later, get to it later, get to it later. How's our time? We're okay, are we? We have a show and tell today. We have an old book. I know I was digging around in boxes there. There's stuff upstairs that has come in a long time ago and has not even been opened and looked at yet. And I'm not sure some of it, the book I dug out of there today, I wasn't sure if I should bring it down for show and tell because it's in bad condition. And even turning the pages is going to be difficult. But whatever, we'll give it a go. It's going to be, it's a kind of thing that we're not sure what to do with when we get these. Sometimes the things we get are in good condition, and it's our job then to just simply maintain it and preserve it. And sometimes the stuff we get is in really bad condition, and in order to preserve it, you're going to have to sort of change it and mess it up a bit. And today's book is one such thing. It's a bound book, and it's made with terrible terrible acidic paper. This is not a delicate washi production. And the paper is decaying as we see it. Even sometimes I may not even be able to turn some of the pages because they're at risk of crumbling. So the only way to save this book will be to destroy it as a book, cut the binding apart, take it all apart, and isolate the sheets one by one in an area where they were no longer against this acidic environment. But I don't know, destroying something to save it. I don't know. Anyway, we'll look at it and chat about it when it's here. We'll look at what we can look at. Is the outside mic on? I don't remember if I turned it on or not. Can we hear the crows out there? I'm hearing them through the door, but there should be sound on the outside camera if I remember to turn it on. Yeah, it's there. It's at its normal setting. So, is the audio okay today? I have an internal microphone just in front of me, and we have a microphone on the outside camera. Okay, fine. Thank you. Asakusa in the back streets, people are getting ready for the new year, and I think it's going to be this year. It's going to be staggeringly busy. The new year in Asakusa is normally a hugely busy season. On a normal year, hundreds of thousands of people, well no, it's literally millions of people come to visit the temple to do their first, the first praying of the year. It's Hatsumode, it's called, temple or shrine. Last year was really cut back because we know why. And this year Tokyo life seems to be pretty much sort of back to normal. So the feeling is, the general mood growing in the community here is that, my God, there's going to be pent-up demand. That temple is going to be just a bear garden, starting late New Year's Eve and going through for 2 or 3 or 4 days. It doesn't affect us at all. We'll be closed here, but all the restaurants and bars and something, they are just stacking up and stocking up and getting their plans ready. And it does look like it's going to be absolutely insane. I read the news from like Britain and Germany. They're worried about a COVID New Year and stuff like this. All the headlines there. Japan seems at the moment to be free of that. We're not free of it, but there's no wave underway, nor does there seem to be a wave coming. And the mood is, let's party. I mean, out there. So it's going to be an insanely busy New Year. I think what I did last year at the end of the year, I prepared myself a printing job that I could do without too much difficult concentration. I was printing one of my old nature prints. And we did that upstairs, and I put the camera outside from the upstairs balcony. And this would have been happening on January 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I'm not sure what to do this year. I know it could be that I will be printing this print, but this is not a turn your brain off thing. This is going to be extremely carefully registered, delicate print. I'm not sure if it's something I want to be really fooling around with while trying to chat on a stream at the same time. So I don't know. I'm starting to play with different ideas about what to do over the year end. And actually, it's not the year end, it's starting next week. This is my last carving job of the year here. So starting Saturday, I don't have easily streamable work. It's bookkeeping work, it's planning work, it's the Beach Boys project planning and stuff, and it's Dave sitting at a computer screen for the most part. So I don't know about stream content for the next couple of weeks. I'll have to get scrappy here, I think. Sizing for sure. There'll be at least one sizing stream next week. And I don't know. And it's possible maybe that perhaps either at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, I might actually sort of take a few days off. Maybe. We'll see. No idea. Here's somebody coming down from upstairs. Suga-san. We can see Suga-san. This is trouble. At this time of day for Suga-san to come is trouble. What does she want? She's pausing outside. Suga-san. So what's she doing? She's looking at her phone? We'll find out in a minute. She's doing something on the phone, is she? She's on her phone, yeah. 今ライブでしょ、すぐさん。1分前から。そう、外に出て、すぐさん、今何やってるかなとか。
あ、ごめんなさい。
今フォン。今フォンですか、何？
電話が通じないんですよ、ちょっと。
あ、上から？
電波が悪くて。
そうか。She was trying to make a phone call from upstairs. It wasn't working, so she came outside to make the phone call. 電波、the connection. 電波が悪い。The phone connection was not good. So she doesn't need me. She's just trying to make a phone call. Or her battery's low or something. No idea. Hey, walking around trying to find a signal. That's a bit strange. You're in the middle of Asakusa? She's gone out of range now, so. Sneaking a smoke, yeah, right. No, not a chance. She has glasses. You saw her. She put her glasses on to look at her screen. She doesn't print with glasses. She has glasses on the counter. It's the same as me. She has glasses on the counter, does her printing, then puts the glasses on, picks up, says, yeah, I guess that's okay. So, I have no idea if it's the system or if it's her phone, no idea. No idea, she's walking around. Yeah, I just see she's walking down the street there looking at this thing. No idea. When I saw her coming downstairs, I thought it was for me because she's in the middle of doing that this is perhaps the most difficult job she's ever done for us, and she was not overconfident about it, and she still isn't overconfident about it. So this particular week, I was going to say she's not having any fun. That's not the way to use it. She's doing a very challenging job this week, so it's plus minus, you know. She will probably do it okay. It'll be rewarding for her, but it's a bit of it is nerve-wracking. It's very, very difficult work. I'm going to cut this line a bit proud. I'm not quite sure exactly. This is a hand-drawn line. Some of these lines, they're transferred from the key block, so we know exactly where to go. But these lines, the eye scoops and the bottom where it meets the water, these are hand-drawn. I traced these from a printout of Jed's master at real size. So this is not exactly clear where these are. So I cut them a bit proud on the outside. And when I cut the water, I cut that a bit proud the other way. So we'll have a little tiny bit of overlap here, which we will trim or not as necessary. I can hear her talking out there, so she must have got through. That's really unusual. I mean, we're in the middle of Tokyo. There's no cell phone connection problems in the middle of Tokyo, of course. I have nothing to report today about the bath situation, because today I was out of there fast, and because it's a stream day, I couldn't hang around. I didn't have a bath today. I did my I did 600 meters today. Bang, 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 bang. Then into the room, get a quick wash my hair, and out of there. So the bath was covered up, and I didn't have a chance to hang around. Tomorrow, I'll take my time swimming, maybe do 700, 800 meters swimming, relax in the shower, and then hopefully the bath will be ready. But today, no chance for that. I can just imagine a kid in there is just thinking, he's the one who asked for the bath. Why is he out of here in such a hurry? So there's no way to explain to people what's going on, but it can't be helped. Oh, stairs. Did you go back in? Yeah, she's going up the stairs. She must have gone back in. So it wasn't a message for me. Good, good, good. My God, the time goes by so quickly. This should be just 5 minutes work, actually, No, when I saw her coming, I thought she wanted to talk to me about the print. There's a problem. We got to do this. What's the solution? What's going to happen? I thought she wanted to talk about her work, but it seems no connection with me at all. So, oh, my mother's here. Mom, how you doing? Good morning. My sister's back. Soka, Soka. I had a nice chat with my mom yesterday. I know I spoke to her on Skype for 20 minutes or so. Mom seems to be doing okay, hanging in there very well. Who designed these pictures? The top group of 5 is by our friend and acquaintance, Jed Henry. The bottom group of 5 is recopied from old traditional prints. Pop them up again just for a second, just so you can see what's going on. The bottom 5 will be January's subscription set. They are from a larger group of 20 or so, just delicate nature prints. The top group of 5 is a new pair of characters Jed has designed. We won't be seeing them all year long. This is simply the bottom 5 are January, top 5 are February. The March print is already organized. The March print is being carved as we speak by Asakusa. I can tease it. It'll be landscape prints, simple landscape designs. The April print, I don't know. Jed will be handing in some sketches to me soon. No idea. Okay, I think that's the fox color done, or at least outlined. We haven't cleaned it, of course. There he's done. I think this is all, yeah. If there's a line missed, you know, you come along with your chisel and it'll split into the area that we want to leave. So, got to make sure they're all properly outlined. Okay, that's done. Now, down here, and we have some fruit on these 2 blocks, and this is really sort of freestyle. I know the blobs are so small. Again, if we pop up the original, the dots are so small, they're barely perceptible. On the print bottom row, print 4 and 5, you can't even see them. There's little red dots representing some kind of fruit. So there's no way, we're not trying to reproduce exactly what's on the original. I just took my marker, dot, 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 and I will now carve some berries, whatever. We're still okay. 909. Okay, rather than take a complete flat piece of wood and carve berries in it, the step 1 here is to do a larger area. Just cut a larger area first, then the clearing will happen around it, and then in that larger piece of wood, chop the berries. If I do the individual berries first, then there's no way, you can't see them while you're clearing away, and it's really easy to get your chisel and smash away stuff that should be kept. So step 1 here, we're just going to carve a larger area. This is like when we do the calligraphy. We go around the outside edges first, and then do the delicate lines. Yeah, is that the vegetable guy or is that the Oshibori guy? I didn't see the truck pull in. I can't see him from my window. I guess it's the Oshibori man, is it? Awfully noisy today. Oh, vegetable guy. Oshibori guy is not that fast, is he? But I didn't hear the styrofoam squeak, which is the vegetable guy's sound. When I was showing these blocks to the girls upstairs the other day, a couple of weeks ago, one of the things they looked at, these ducks here, or geese, whatever they are, these ducks have eyes. So the registration there is going to be, they were just like, Dave, why are you doing this to us, you know? And I'm like, relax, this year's focus is going to be delicate prints. You know, last year's focus was you had lots of wide areas and different color mixes. And this year's focus is something different, you know. Chance to be quiet and settle back and do a careful, delicately registered print, you know. The registration for this print, these prints all year long, the registration is going to be absolutely critical. We're registering to the whatever 0.1 millimeter, you know. So the paper will have to be sized really carefully. Then they have to, before they even moisten the paper, they're all going to have to put manicure, put on a, we use nail polish top coat, excuse me, on the piece of paper before we put it, because it's going to have to go on the same registration marks many times. The corners of the paper can sometimes get really smashed up, and then you can't really get the thing registered properly. So when it comes time to get their printing paper ready, before they moisten the printing paper, they will use a bit of nail polish to put a hard corner on the washi. Then when that's dried, they moisten the paper normally. Then as they're printing, as the paper goes into the corners, it goes ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. And they get really tight registration at the corners. Without that, moist, soft washi being in the corner once, twice, 3, 4, 5, moving around, the corners get like you see here. The corner gets messed up and it's difficult to do registration. So we will all year long, for every sheet of paper, we're going to be using what in Japanese is called manicure, and it means the nail polish. You go to the drugstore and buy a batch of clear nail polish. And when I used to do this, when I lived in Hammer by myself, you know, I'd go to the drugstore and buy nail polish. I'm like, whatever. The girl looks at you and whatever, you know. Okay. I think it's time for show and tell. So, carefully manicured woodblock prints. Are the egrets? No idea. I'm sorry. I don't know. White water birds of some kind. I don't know what they are. Not even going to pretend to know. No idea what they are. Okay, we have a book today, and as I said, I got to be careful of this because it is in bad condition. If I was just looking at the paper, I would have said this is a wartime production, and it's still good. It could be actually a wartime production. It's made on that. It's nothing to do with washi. In fact, this is loose. We can look at it. It's a piece of the kind of paper. It looks almost like as bad as newsprint. It goes brown within days of printing, and as time goes by, it just crumbles. And we can just crumble this. And the whole book is not that bad, but a whole lot of it is that bad. Some of the prints inside are already in pieces. I can see at the back of the book, some previous owner, the prints are already in pieces, and bits of them have already crumbled. Bits of them have already crumbled because of this awful, terrible paper and have come out in pieces. So I'm not going to muck around too much with this. We'll just have a flip through to see what we can see without inflicting any more damage. And as I mentioned before at the beginning of the stream, to save this stuff, we're going to have to destroy this. I'm going to destroy it. I mean, destroy it as a book. We're going to cut the threads. It's just a silk thread. What everybody knows how books were made. There's no big deal. Cut the threads, separate the sheets one by one by one, and carefully just slip them into folders so that they're not hounded or damaged or whatever. Some of them are going to be history. You know, the one I've touched there, it's crumbling as you see. Now, what this book is, Rangakusha, Kantar, give me help with this. I can't read the third kanji. This is Bijutsu something. And I would guess it's perhaps one of the alternate kanjis for cho or collection or something. Bijutsu is, of course, arts, Bijutsu. And this is Maki Nana, volume 7. And it's another one of those. Well, John says, could we not just insert washi? If I inserted washi, it's going to bulk it up. I don't know, whatever. We have to think about it. At the moment, I'm just going to put it back in the drawer, and that'll be the end of it. It's produced by a company called Nihon, or it was sold by somebody called Nihon Kogeisha. And it's kimono production, written in katakana, in English, kimono production. And it's not one of those kimono pattern books, but it does share a bunch of stuff with those kimono pattern books. Now, let me try and open it to a point where we can just see some of the stuff that's inside. Some of the pages we are going to see are clearly kimono patterns. Some are just simply, oh, I see, we're going to get a light problem here. I think we can do this. We can turn some pages without shattering it. So it's just acidified beyond belief. And as I said, the book, if I took the book and crumbled it, it would crumble into dust in my hands. So we have to be careful. It's not actually something super rare or wonderful or that must be preserved at all costs. It's a kind of book that was very common. I'm guessing this is 1920, 25, 30, somewhere around there. But I said it could also be later, wartime, when there was no good paper available and they were printing on just scraps of crap. And it's another one of those design books. Books that would have been purchased by people with an interest in design. They would either be people working on kimono or lacquerware or whatever. These two, look, these two have already come apart. It's back to back. They would normally turn pages together. They've come apart. It gives us a chance actually to see the back of the prints. These really are woodblock prints. And lots of, look at this, you can see that's the paper color, and this is white. This is Kyoto type production. There's lots of opaque material mixed in with these pigments, and we can see that from the back. Look at this, you can see that kind of lilac color has been made by making a red and a blue and a white mixed together. And you can see it embedded in the paper. And maybe even actually that's helped preserve the paper compared to the part that didn't have any pigment in it. More of our friendly aluminum powder. We've seen these many, many times in this stream to show pattern books. Recognize the pattern here? It's not mica, I think it's aluminum powder. Perhaps, no, it doesn't have the right sheen for mica. It's got the dirty gray feeling of aluminum, and that was really, really common in this era. They used it instead of silver because it didn't go black, didn't oxidize. These are little houses. It's a snowy house. And I certainly don't know the derivation of all of these patterns. There's no idea. Somebody with a knowledge of Japanese pattern work could have a much clearer idea of what these all are than I do. I'm not in any way an expert on Japanese patterns. But everything you see is woodblock printed. It's from a, I mean, photography had been invented by now, but still, to get these done, you can sort of show the patterns much more clearly with a woodblock print than you could by taking a photograph of it. You know? It's not the best work. You know? The registration, look, registration's off here and there. And I don't know the publisher. The back section, which would have publisher and date, has all disappeared. Is an interesting conceit. And they've taken birds, I guess, is it supposed to be their wings spreading left and right have become a circular wave pattern. It's fun playing with ideas here, you know. It's not really all that well executed, but it is fun. The different ways that these people just played with design motifs. So there's an Escher mood to some of these, and maybe this could be late enough. When was he working? Could they have seen some of his stuff? I don't know. Very playful. Every page has, you know, ideas, and this is the concept, an idea book for designers. Excuse me. What is that? Ebi? Shrimp? Lobsters? What have we got here? I mean, who's going to mix these elements? What's going on here? We have bamboo, pine, is it plum, and lobster. What's the common thread here? Seafood salad, I don't know. Does it represent different seasons? We have spring, of course. Bamboo, I guess, would be summer. Pine, lobster, I don't know. I really, really, really don't know. And they've really gone to town, you know. We even have like this, look, this. Why bother? I mean, why? You've got your replicating pattern, and there's a lobster foot in one corner. So lobster claw. I see. Maybe it replicates left to right. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm being a bit too sarcastic. This matches. No, this is a big deal. Do you see this? Top and bottom and left to right match. This could be wallpaper. You can see, look, this pattern matches the one at the bottom. This thing matches what's on the right-hand side here. The lobster matches. This would replicate. This would be a tiling pattern. Wallpaper. So I was being a bit too sarcastic too soon about why there's a lobster foot in that corner, because this guy has it here. What could they be? They could have been maybe made as ceramic tiles then, or it could be a wallpaper pattern. You tell me. They're not all like that. This next one here doesn't do that. But this one does. This one tiles, or whatever the word is when they're talking about wallpaper. I don't think I want it in my house, but there it is. It does replicate. Not replicate, what do you call it? On a repeat. Oh, look at this embossing. Can we catch this? Let's see if I can catch this for you. I don't know if we're going to get this. We're going to have to zoom. Let's try. I'm not sure if we can catch this. Hang on. There is. Do you see it? There's an opaque, a pattern printed with opaque white pigment. And then over here at the edge, the oxidization has hit from the outside. Oxygen obviously hitting the outside of the book, but not so much oxygen getting inside the book. So this would be closer to the original appearance, a white pattern printed with opaque pigment. And this part now, it appears brown because it's oxidized. Again, this one too, I think this is heavily damaged by time. Are we seeing a silver pattern? I don't know. It's either poor printing or it's damaged by the passage of time. This middle part of the book is not so crumbly as the pages on the outside, obviously. The outside pages, the ones at the front and the back, are really crumbly from the oxygen. But the ones in the middle here, this is actually not so bad. What have we got here? Someone's got closed drying. I don't think it would be closed drying so much as displaying. This kind of lacquered pole you see here, this is a kimono rack. It would be a rack that sits in the house, and kimono would be hung on it. It's not really laundry, I think. It's a rack that would just support the clothes. So I don't think it's literally washing day. I think it's just simply to display the kimono and the patterns. Let's flip through. There's going to be some that are more interesting and less interesting than others. The book has been used by somebody. There's actually notations and memos here and there. So somebody has come through and used the book. And maybe they've even taken some pages out of this. Look at this. We have a front page here. And then there's a half a page missing. Oh no, it's a fold out. I see. Okay, just a minute. Okay, what have we got here? Somebody's hat, is it? A hat on a windy day? Let's be careful here. Hang on. What have we got? Just a sec. Whoa, this is in bad shape. Sorry about this. This is in bad shape. I do not want to muck with this. Let's just pack this up. If it's just going to crumble as I touch it. So, and we haven't photographed this or scanned this yet. So let me just move on here. Different mood. The book is broken up into seasons or styles or types, I guess. You know, the kanji on the front cover, I really don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have a clue. I tried this morning before the stream started, before I went to the pool. I tried to look up that kanji with my, stroke order counter and stuff. I do not know what that third kanji is. Clearly some of this is kimono related. We've seen these books of kimono pattern design that we have. We've got a bunch of those. This will be patterning for furoshiki maybe. This is not really high quality printing. We've seen much, much better printing in some of these books. Look at this. This is really beyond careless. Nothing to write home about at all here. Look at this. The carving is quite rough. The printing is quite rough. This is not your masterpiece to write home about. And the paper is pulpy, pulpy, pulpy. This is not in any way nice quality washing, which made me think it looks like a wartime production. Because for the war, during the war, they took most of the mulberry. It was gone to make those balloons. There was 2 or 3 years there where there was just nothing left for any paper maker. All the paper makers worked full time for the military, or their stuff was conscripted, or what's it called, confiscated by the military for those balloons. Iwanasan still talks about it. He remembers that. He was a kid, and his father's workshop was just devastated by that. So this has the feeling of like a 1941 or 1942 type production. But physically, it looks older than that, so I really don't know. I'm sorry. And I've got no idea. This is some accident. I don't think this is part of the design. This is... So again, this book would have been used by somebody, a designer or painter or somebody with a workshop that had, you know, stuff, pigments and stuff being thrown around. So somebody has spilled or done something on this book. Which is interesting because it shows that the things were actually used. They were functional. You know, people used these books to mine and take ideas from and copy from. It's what do they call it? Bonsai, tray landscape, I guess. Bonsai, we know. Tray plants. Bonsai. This would be perhaps bonsai, but I'm not sure. I don't think the house was on fire. I think that was chimney to show. I'm not chimney. It was smoke just coming. There's no chimneys on a house like this. You've got your fireplace downstairs, smoke rises inside the old building and comes out the rafters at the top. So I don't think there's a house on fire. I think it's simply a winter scene. How do they get a black like that? They print. Remember, this is Kyoto printing. They're printing with very, very, very thick pigment mix. The stuff on the surface of the block would have been goopy. Absolute goopy. I can't see the back of this. This page is not split, but it's a vast amount of black stuff on the block. I've been watching. I haven't seen any more that tile like that one we saw. They don't go left to right, left to right. So they're not matching. So these are not meant to be like wallpapers or something. But that one page we saw was. This is Genji. It tells us these are Genji patterns, and we can see this is the famous Genji Mon. So this group is going to be patterns derived from the tale of Genji. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is fun. Somebody has actually used this book. Look. They've chopped something out. Somebody has actually, so that what you tell me, whatever, this crane pattern here must have been here. So somebody has chopped it out to copy or use or paste or whatever. I'm actually pleased to see this, you know. It makes this thing more real. People actually use this stuff. For me, you know, I look at these books and it's like, what did somebody do? Why did they buy this? What was it for, you know? But here we are. We've seen now 3 or 4 times through this book, somebody has actually used it. These are all saying the same thing. These are all chapters from the tale of Genji. referencing the Genji story. No idea what they're trying to do. No idea, no idea. Again and again and again. You tell me. I don't. How could they have been so bad at drawing animals? I cannot understand it. Are we looking at one creature or two? I think this is one of the great mysteries of the world. Why the Japanese designers could not draw cats. Oh, there's a backstory. Look, it's a shamisen plectrum. This is a cat, a pet of a lady with a shamisen. I mean, I really think that's a pig's ear. That's not a cat's ear. That's a pig. I don't know. I really don't know. More enough. We're pretty much through the book. So let's end with something a little bit more pleasant. I don't know. If you're new here, there's a thing about cats on this stream. I'm sorry. I know the Japanese designers, at least of this era, had trouble with cats, and we don't know why. And there's a wonderful thesis waiting to be written about this. Somebody somewhere who has the time to investigate this and try and figure out what's going on. Okay. I'm out of here. As I said, now I am one little busy cat for the next few days. I'll be finished this block this afternoon. I must finish this block this afternoon. So Saturday's stream, it will either be a sizing stream upstairs, or it will be me sitting at one of the printing benches upstairs doing some rough test printing on this thing. I don't know. I can't plan my days here in advance to see what's going on. So Saturday will be one of those two things. Then the Monday following that will be again the same thing. It could be sizing, it could be test printing. And after that, I can't see it. I don't have a carving work until next January. So the streams from here to the end of the year might be scrappy or mixed up or something like this. And if you've got ideas about what we could do, and like, don't tell me you want to stream while I'm doing bookkeeping. That really isn't something that's on plan here. But let me know what you think might be different ways that we can use this time to the end of the year. And somebody did mention the two boys print is here. So maybe I'll be able to pull that out and do some work with the two boys and the inkstone. That's another idea too. But stand by for maybe some not so normal regular streams from here to the end of the year. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Except for the cat. Oh, the sky tree is back. You can see it there. The sky tree is back. It is glass tea. You can hear it at the end of the block there. They're picking up the glasses. The cans are already gone. Guys during the night came and stole all the cans, or most of the cans. So all that's left is cardboard, glass, and PET bottles, which are not valuable enough. So. There's somebody coming. Okay, I am out of here. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a couple of days. Thanks for hanging around. Asakusa scenery. Okay, bye for now. See you next time.